Hey, hello and good morning. Let's take a look at the bell work here. Well, if you look right here, it says find mean, median, and mode. Well, to find the mean, which is the average, you're going to add this up. Let's take a look here. This is going to be 10, and here's 10. This is 8, and 7 makes 15. So it's going to be 15. Make sure I have everything. Okay, so 15, and then 10 plus 10 makes 20. So it looks like 35 is the total. So double check that. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to have 6 goes into 35. Okay, make sure you bring a calculator. Also, if you have math fees, I'll come around and check that. And turn in your phone as well if you haven't already done that. So it's going to be 6 times 6 is 36. That's too much, so it's got to be 5, which is 30, and your remainder is 5. So you put your remainder over your divisor, and you're done. And that's the average right here. That's your mean. The median, you got to line them up. So 10 is the biggest. Scratch that one off. The next one is 8. Scratch that one off. And then 7. Scratch that one off. And then you have a couple of 4s, and then a 2. Make sure you count that you didn't miss anything. Okay? The one in the middle, well, there isn't one in the middle, so you're going to go ahead and add these up. So that's 11 divided by 2. So that's going to be 5.5 is the median. And the mode is the one that occurs the most. In this case, the 4 occurs twice. So the mode is 4. And sometimes there is no mode. Like if nothing repeats, you would say no mode. Okay, let's take a look at today's work. Today's work, you're going to have a worksheet, and I want you to show me the work. Now they want mean, median, mode, and range. And I didn't talk about range, but I'm going to do it now. You take the big number minus the small number, and that gives you the range. Write that down. So on this one, the biggest number looks like 94 minus the smallest number. You can just take a good look at it. It looks like 23 is what I think it is. And when you subtract those, you get your answer. It looks like 71. So the range from the high to the low is 71. And today you're going to be doing this worksheet in periods 1 through 6, which is the data algebra class. Same thing here. You're going to be doing mean, median, mode, and range. Now here, if you look at the frequency, on this one you have 3 nines, 999. So you're going to write 9, 9, 9, and then 3 eights, 2 sevens, and 1 5. And then you find mean, median, mode, and range. All right, let's turn our attention now to the next class, period 7, and here's the bell work. Make that a little smaller so you can see it. Okay, today we're going to learn about properties. Let me get some paper here. Okay, so fold your paper. 8/16 goes in the middle. Put week 1. Put date. And let's work these. If you have your math fee, I'll come around and collect that. Also, your phone should be on the wall. This right here, the absolute value is 3, but the negative makes it -3. This one right here, the bigger the negative, the smaller the number. This negative is a -1 1/7. And that's a bigger negative than that one. So that's smaller. I'm going to say it again. The bigger the negative, the smaller the number. Okay? This one, k is less than 5. Well, here's 5, and here's -3. So k is in the middle. So it's less than 5, but it's no less than -3. So no less than -3 would be inclusive, like that. Okay, so it can equal -3. How would you write it with the box? You would do -3 like this, and then you would do 5 with an open parentheses. And that's how you do the notation. All right, on a new sheet of paper, copy these properties. We didn't talk about the properties yesterday, but we're going to do it now. You should know the distributive property. So you're going to distribute right here, so it's going to be AB plus AC. You have to distribute the A to both of these. The additive inverse is just the opposite. So if you have 5, then you would do a -5 to get 0. That would be your additive inverse. The associative property is regroup. Put AG for grouping. Write that down. That's how I memorize it. Associative property, you regroup. For example, if you have A times B times C equals A times B times C, what you do is regroup the parentheses. So if you have parentheses here, you would regroup them here. Okay? So in these parentheses, it's different than those. So all you do is regroup them. However, the commutative property, let me jump down, put ABC. To do the commutative, put CS. CS stands for switch. So you wouldn't say ABC, you would say ACB or something like that. You would switch them. Okay? So the associative, you don't switch, you just regroup. Commutative, you switch. The multiplicative identity is just multiplying by 1. So 5 times 1 is going to give you 5. It's an identity, so it's going to equal itself. All right. On a new sheet of paper, I want you to copy this down here. We're going to talk about terms and coefficients. Okay? We're going to work these. Well, this one has 2 terms. Terms are separated by pluses and minuses. So it's going to be 2 terms. And the coefficient is only the number in front of the x here. So that's going to be a 4, or a 7 rather. And I'm pretty sure they consider that 4 as a coefficient as well, because it's technically x to the 0 power. X to the 0 power is 1. This one right here, the coefficient is the number in front. So it's going to be 3 square root of 3. That's your coefficient. And the term here is only 1 term, so it's a monomial. Okay? This one is a binomial. Here you got to find the same denominator, okay? You have the same variable, same exponent, okay? 12 is your least common denominator, so you're going to multiply by 4. This one you're going to multiply by 3. So that's going to give you 8x over 12 minus 3x over 12, and then 8x minus 3x is going to be 5x over 12. And that's how you do it. Just like you do with fractions, you need the same denominator. Division, you got to keep this. You have to change that and then flip it. Keep, change, flip. And then you multiply straight across. So it's going to be 14x over 18. Your assignment is right here. If you get stuck, make sure you ask. Make sure you copy the problems and show work. All right, have a good morning.